Hey everybody, thank you for joining us today for the morning prayer. Thank you for joining me for this reflection. Happy Easter to you all. Today we're going to be preaching from the Gospel of Mark, the 16th chapter, verses 1 through 8. We're going to focus on verse 8 in particular. But in this passage, it's the third day. It's the day that Jesus has risen. And Mary, the mother of James and John, Mary Magdalene, and a lady by the name of Salome, they show up to the tomb nice and early. They're carrying spices. They're going to tend to the body. And it's, their way of loving, their way of expressing their love for Jesus. And so they're on their way, and they're wondering who's going to remove the stone, because they're just three women, and this stone is tons, and they're hoping that somebody will be there to help them. When they get there, the tomb, of course, is open. They go inside. They encounter an angel sitting there. The tomb is empty except for him. The angel has a conversation with them and tells them, go off and tell the disciples that their Lord has risen. He'll meet them in Galilee. And then verse 8 says, So they went out and they fled the tomb, for terror and amazement had seized them. And they said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. Have you ever had one of those moments where terror and amazement seizes you? It happens a lot when we're experiencing something new, when we're experiencing something brand new, something that we did not expect, when we're experiencing some kind of opportunity or possibility that had never occurred to us. We're overcome by these two incredible emotions. Terror, I have no idea what to think. Is this going to harm me? Is this going to harm the people around me? Is this going to destroy the world that I know? Amazement, this is cool. This is powerful. This is something unexpected and wonderful. This is something beautiful. This is something that I can feel myself getting excited about. Two very, very, very strong emotions that in certain circumstances walk hand in hand. It will come as no surprise to you that I see Easter, as many people do, as a moment of a new beginning, as a moment of new opportunities and new possibilities, and as a moment of rebirth. Something fresh and something new coming from something old and seemingly dead. I see Easter in the context of the church as an opportunity for us to follow Christ, to allow what was to pass away so that we can embrace what can be. As individuals, Easter should be something we remember every single day, and maybe many times a day, where we let go of what was to embrace what could be. But what could be is often terrifying and amazing, terrifying and exhilarating, terrifying and exciting. We can feel absolutely overwhelmed by these two emotions. And honestly, those two emotions, I believe, should walk in balance with one another. Both sentiments, both are valuable to us. Excitement, amazement, incredulity, that sense of, oh my gosh, I never experienced this. I never thought something like this could happen. What a wonderful day. That's fantastic. That is the type of passion that leads people to doing great, important things. That it leads them to doing things that they may never have expected themselves to be able to do. But it needs to be tempered. Because running off all filled with passion and amazement can get a person into trouble. Can get a person to do things that maybe they shouldn't have done. To do things maybe too quickly or without thought, without enough consideration. I have this problem a lot in my life. I experience this a lot in my ministry. I'll hear something and say, yeah, Lord, yeah, let's do that. We'll do it. Woohoo! And go full bore into it. And sometimes it doesn't go the way I expect it to go. Sometimes it just goes wrong or requires a great deal more energy because I haven't thought it out. So that sense of terror can also be a really, really good thing. It can be the thing that forces us to be considerate, to think things through, to plan a little bit. Not necessarily to plan something into oblivion, but that terror can be a really good ally. That sense of foreboding can make us explore and look at things deeply. It can make us aware of possible negative consequences so that we can work diligently to avoid them. But neither of these two things should ever gain superiority over the other in our psyches. Too much excitement, yeah, we might make the wrong moves too quickly. Too much terror, we might not move at all. Too much terror, we may plan something until there is no future for it, until the opportunity has passed us by. It was okay for the two Marys and Salome to feel this way on this day. It was perfectly normal and natural for them to feel this. They have experienced something that nobody else up until this moment had ever experienced before, had ever dreamed of experiencing before. And yet this is where they found themselves. It's okay for you and I to feel this way when we're facing those opportunities and possibilities that come our way, when we're facing those unexpected moments that reveal to us a new path and a new direction we never anticipated. Use them. Use these feelings to fuel you and to guide you. Don't let either of them gain ground over the other. Hold both in balance. Appreciate and love both of them for the gifts that they bring. And then move forward boldly, filled with the same Spirit that filled Mary and Salome on this amazing morning. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that when a new door is opened for you, you will feel the amazement, the exhilaration, and the trepidation of all that that door represents. But you too will move and explore it. Find out what it means for you, to find out what it means for the world, to take the journey that God is asking you to take. Amen.